Well, we move on to Maurice's quest for sexual healing.
Yes.
Kimmi explains that the lack of libido is a side effect of some of the medication.
Yeah.
And Maurice immediately says he was ignorant of the situation. Mm-hmm. He learned a lot by going through it, and he apologizes. He's a different person behind it.
Stop it. Let's walk through this. When they were showing the past scenes of everything that's going on. Also, let me give you a side note also. When they all was coming in, Kimmi, I do love the short hair, and that is not for me to say like, oh girl, you look good with your short hair because of things going through. I'm actually a big fan of short hair.
Yeah, you do like short
she
hair.
Love you look beautiful with the short hair. You look beautiful with the long hair, but you look beautiful with the short hair. I just want to get
striking.
That up. Yes. But this whole time while they were showing the scenes of this past seasons of everything that Maurice has said, Kimmi sat there and she looked kind of disturbed. It is kind of disturbing to watch because especially if you haven't seen everything, you get to see how everything played out. Listen here. Do we appreciate Maurice's statement that he created and said that he apologized and he was ignorant behind everything he was saying? No, I don't appreciate it. And I don't accept it because how were you ignorant of what was going on and what she was going through when she was telling you directly what she's been going through? And
every time she said it to you, you dismissed it as being in her head. So the apology that you're giving to the public, I mean, I don't believe that you believe what you're saying.
No.
You're just saying something just to smooth things over with your wife.
And guess
but
what?
You absolutely feel the same way.
Look, well, I'm not gonna put absolutes on it.
Okay.
But I will say that I can objectively say that I do not believe that you didn't know because Kimmi told you every time that you requested sex.
Yeah.
Every time you brought up sex and their sexual and your sexual relationship and the lack of or like whatever, she told you like, hey, I had cancer. My body's recovering. And to say that, oh, I was ignorant and I didn't know what I was saying and I apologize. I'm like, what didn't you know? You didn't know your wife had cancer? You didn't know your wife was recovering? Continue.
But I also want to just kind of bring it back to, like you said, when they were walking on the stage, Carlos made like a joke about liking it from the back or something like that. And they both like that. And Maurice, you know, he ha and joking around with Carlos, talking about, you know, their sexual like preferences and stuff like that. And Kimmi was like, that's not funny.
Did she say that?
Yeah. She's like, I don't find that funny.
Oh, I ain't hear that.
Yeah. And then they sat down and stuff like that. And that's where, you know, like he's still playing. Like,
well, it's not even that. Carlos shouldn't be playing with him like that either, and things like that.
Well, Carlos trying to get him caught up.
I understand that, but I'm not on the. I understand the jokes of it, but I'm on the seriousness of Maurice talking about, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, bro, how did you know? Your wife been screaming it from the mountaintop.
Right.
Like, continue.
Yeah. Well, Kimmi says that a fruitful sex life in her marriage is important to her as well.
Stop right there. Kimmi, you're lying. What do you mean? Because every time throughout this season, you didn't express, quote unquote, how important it was to you too. Every time it was attached to Maurice.
Yeah, like, let me do this for Maurice. Let me get the sex therapist for Maurice.
Exactly. Like, it was never packaged as sex is important to me too.
Yeah, for the health of our relationship.
Exactly. It was always like, oh, I got a sex therapist for us, for you. I did a boudoir, or I think that's what it's called, right?
It is.
For us, for you. You get what I'm saying? It's not in my head for us, for you. You get what I'm saying? So like, Kimmi has a thing, and I don't know how real it is, but people, I hear y'all say that Kimmi has a knack of defending men on this show and not really basically like being on the side of the women. Kimmi, I think you should have let Maurice hang out and dry just a little bit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I understand that you're his wife and things like that. But I will tell you something based on my opinion. I see smoke coming from that house. I see smoke coming from that marriage. And that's my opinion. I'm just a legend. Based on the characters that I seen on the show. I don't know these people. We don't know these people. But based on the characters that he showed, based on the inconsistencies that Maurice has shown, based on the inconsiderate behavior that he's shown to you, even little jokes, as Blair talked about the jokes that he may say, the jokes that he had with his brother about the hair blown in the wind. And then for the last episode of this season, Kimmi talks about how emotionally attached, or how people talk about how different she looked with her hair and things like that. I guess one of the people who was talking about her hair was her husband and things like that. And my thing is, you can make those little jokes if you can, quote unquote, if you was loving, patient, kind, all those things. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that you can make that joke and then the next scene or the next scenes prior to that was you begging for sex, or you talk about, hey, it's all in your head, it doesn't make it seem like you're a kind person to her situation. It feels
like a pile-on.
Exactly. So, Kimmi, I do not agree with you that, hey, a fruitful sex life is important to me too. More important than saving your life, because that's what was going on.
Well, I wouldn't say it like that.
I would say exactly like that. Cancer is a real thing. And at that moment, I can say that, hey, Kimmi, if you felt like in that moment that my libido is low based off of the medication and based on the recovery that I've been going through, hey, right now, sex may not be on my top priority. I can be like, I get it.
Yeah.
You went through something, and based on the knowledge you told me, it is an aggressive form of a cancer that she had.
Yeah.
And things like that. So at that moment, and guess what? She may have cared about sex prior to the diagnosis, but the fact that, hey, I have this diagnosis, I beat it, and now my body's recovering. Hey, right now, I want to focus on recovering and getting my life back together.
Sex is not the priority at the moment. Yeah, it's not a either or. It's just sex is not the priority.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess what? I won the fight.
Right.
And now I'm recovering. Continue.
Well, then she talks about how she was faking orgasms, and she says it was fine faking it, but telling it was the issue. Maurice said that no, it's bad that she was faking it because he actually considers that to be a lie, and he wants to make sure that they're both there and present and enjoying the situation.
And just that quickly, we get off of Maurice and Kimmi. And now it turns into, hey, have y'all ever had fake orgasms? Have y'all ever faked it in bed?
And Marsau says, maybe you're just bad at sex. Have you thought about that, Maurice? Yeah. Well, then we move on.